Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm back at the Marin Headlands, and I decided I was gonna look at all the batteries here, as many as I can. There's a lot of batteries here, and this one is called Rathbone McKindo, if I'm saying that right. I think so. I'm not sure who it's named after, but this is on the road, the back road down to Rodeo Beach and that whole area. So let's go check them out, see what we can see about all these batteries. I think they're cool. They're a little bit of old history, and come along. So first of all, we got some steel doors there, and some Mickey's Big Mouths. Those were popular when I was in high school. And then of course there was a gun mounted here, and as you can see, the view they would have was a pretty great view. I'm not sure the caliber of the gun here, but it would probably be a pretty good sized caliber gun. So this is the road I came down to get here. It's a very steep one-way road, and Curvy Cove is down there around the bend there, which I did a video on real recently. So if you're interested in the campground around the corner, I'll post a link to it. You can check it out. But this whole area here was fortified to protect the bay. And a lot of these batteries were actually made in the 1800s. And they just continued to upgrade them all the way through the Cold War era. Got a nice bench here if you just want to bring a lunch and chill. Beautiful view. It's now a national park. And this is unusual because there is no wind and no fog. This is normally a very windy spot, so it's very strange that there's no wind at all. I mean, it's so calm, and you don't want to be tripping down this cliff. But look at the color of the sand there. It's like black sand beach down there, huh? And there's over there, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little cave. That's pretty cool. Lighthouse I also went to, filmed a video. I can put a link to that video if you're interested. That's a pretty cool little lighthouse. You got to take a bridge to get out to it, but I never noticed that cave down there. All right, let's continue our battery discovery here. All sorts of carvings on the bench. See if there's any really old ones. No one left any dates, so it's hard to tell. So they had 3 guns at this particular battery. Another one was here. And another one was here. Now, as far as I understand, what I've learned about these is these little hutches here are where the people that control the guns would dictate the firing of the guns. So they had a little higher view and a little better view than the people with the guns. So there'd be people in here, and their job would be to constantly look for possible enemies coming in, submarines or ships. So, pretty crazy to think about. This whole area, this is a cold, foggy, cold area to just hang out in, and your job is to protect the Bay Area 24/7. So we're going to go ahead and continue our battery discovery, and hop in my car and go down to some of these other ones. So this gives you kind of a more overview of how serious this operation was. This is a really cool spot here. This is the Nike air defense system, the missile system. I've done 2 videos on this, and they're both really interesting. They do a demo where you see those yellow doors over there. That's where the missiles come up, and they're stored underground, and they come up. And then this is the whole fueling area, and they do radar. And on certain weekends, you can come up here, and that pink building over there is where they train the killer German Shepherd dogs, the sentry dogs. So if you want to see some really cool, for you war buffs watching this, I'm going to put a link in my, right above where I'm talking right now. And the Nike missile tour is pretty awesome, actually, to be honest. It's really cool. And they have these all over the Bay Area, protecting them. So this is just one particular location. And they were nuclear. And then these barracks down here, way up there on the hill, there's another huge gun that could shoot 75 miles out. And right now, they use those barracks for various, you know, honestly, I forgot what they're all about currently. Because I know field trips, kids take field trips out there. And right behind this bush, you can't see it now, is a Marine Mammal Center. So let's go check out some of these other batteries. There's one here, and then there's a really cool one farther beyond that. But this whole area is pretty amazing history of protecting the San Francisco Bay Area. And then this is Rodeo Beach, and again, it's so calm. It's normally super windy out there, so it's so weird to be here when it's calm like this. So let's continue our journey of checking these different batteries out. So this battery here is called Battery Wallace, and we'll walk around a little bit. But they've added this whole picnic and barbecue area. I don't remember this ever being here, which is pretty neat. And then, believe it or not, down this road here is a campground. I'm gonna have to come back and do one more video of this area and just do the campgrounds, because some of these campgrounds I didn't even know existed. Pretty cool. All right, let's go walk and see if the Battery Wallace has anything to show us. Well, here we are, Battery Wallace. So these had more substantial guns in them. And this one was built in 1942, during World War II. And they filled them all in. It used to be open pits. but for safety reasons, they filled them all in. Hey! But this one's kind of hidden, but I bet these trees probably weren't that big at the time. From my understanding, all these loops in the concrete were a pulley system, and that's how they aimed the gun. That's what I understand. We're going to go check out that one, and then I want to tell you a story about that point. But these green things, these are not open to the public. I think that's where the park people maintenance stuff is. But you get kind of an idea how well this area is protected. And there should be another one over there too, because there was a tunnel, but you couldn't go through it. There's another location here. I'm not sure what these huge round things are. Probably some kind of mounting for something. I don't know. If anybody knows, let me know. Something to do with water, maybe? I see pipes. And there's some local deer grazing over there. See if I can film a little of them. You see them there chomping on the grass? They seem oblivious to us. Not too scared of people. That big tower there is where all the television and radio used to broadcast from back in the day. And it's a great place to see a view of the city. Right below it there's a road you can go to. It's called Twin Peaks. And see a great view of San Francisco. So it's funny, this has all changed since the 80s. So since, 40 years ago. And you see all these barracks down here and stuff. This all used to be connected with tunnels. So if in the event they were involved in something, it's covered with ice plant now. If they were involved in an incident, they can move around in underground tunnels. Wow. I have no idea what this is now. Or what it was. I think it had to just do with water. Let's take a look. It's pretty cool though. Yeah, I think it's some kind of water collection place. It's all overgrown now. All they got now is poison hemlock. And poison oak, of course. So let's walk in this dark, dank tunnel. Let me get my phone light out. Got all sorts of graffiti in here. Even with the phone light, you can't see much. Kind of creepy. I welded these doors shut years ago. And I knew guys in high school that used to come. A lot of these doors were open back in the 80s, and you could walk through these tunnels. And some of them would go way back. It's covered with ice plant now, which is actually an invasive species. Ice plant. It's coming to get you. So what I was starting to tell you guys about this particular path that I'm walking on now, this used to be a road. You could drive down your car. Drive your car down the road. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. There's some kind of trail here. Don't know what. Maybe a slug across the road. And we would drive out here to party at night, knowing that the only people out here to bother you were military police. And most of the military police were teenagers. They didn't really care about what we might be doing out here. So, with that said, there's another battery here to check out. Look what the salt air has done to the, hopefully that German Shepherd's friendly. It's off leash. But they're really fortifying this place, realizing that it's history. That's good. They're not just letting it go to waste. Look at these doors. Look what how thick they are and what the rust has slowly done to them. This had to be like places where ammunition was stored or something. Hi, hi. It's a friendly dog. Hey, friendly. Friendly. Hey, buddy. Well, don't have to worry about him. Yeah, they're restoring it. There's a sign here. Battery Mendel. This battery was named for an Army engineer, Colonel George H. Mendel. After his graduation from West Point in 1852, he began a long career in planning and designing military structures. During the late 19th century, he supervised the building of many Bay Area coastal fortifications. Battery Mendel was completed in 1905, shortly after his retirement. It was armed with 2 disappearing guns, which would fold back out of sight after they had been fired, remaining active in service until 1943. Wow. There's a sign with information about the battery. Battery Mendel, keeping the enemy at bay. Battery Mendel's mission was to keep the enemy warships further from San Francisco's harbor than any earlier coastal defense were equipped to do. Built in 1905, the battery was positioned as far west on the headlands as possible and armed with the biggest guns in America. The 2 12-inch cannons could hit vessels 8 miles out to sea. And they had disappearing guns that rose up for firing and then dropped back down to be protected behind the cement barrier. This gives you an idea of what we're looking at here. On the battery's lower level, a complex of rooms included ammunition magazines for storing powder and shells. So guard room, gun 1, gun 2, corridor, powder magazines, shell magazines. The power plant was over there. In the plotting room, 1-story section directly in front of you, a trained crew made calculations necessary to accurately aiming guns using this method called triangulation, and the data provided by 2 lookout posts base and sections positioned in key spots on the coast. The plotting crew could pinpoint targets miles out to sea. So they didn't necessarily, the base guys didn't necessarily have to be here. They were farther away and radioing in their coordinates for the gun aiming. Soldiers being visited by their wives and sweethearts in 1908. Though batteries Mandel's firepower was quickly surpassed by newer batteries and weapons, its guns remained in service till 1943. Then they are removed and sold for scrap metal. See what it's like above. Yeah, all the wood here. I guess they're repouring concrete. I see. I was going to say the wood ain't going to do anything. Putting drains on them. So this is where one of the disappearing guns would be. So they'd pop up, shoot, and then lower back down. These rusty doors are cool. The hinges are so frozen you can't really move them. You see there? I got 2 guns there. That's where we just were. I mean, there's guns all over this place. It's crazy. And look at that crack in this concrete. That could have been the 1989 earthquake that did that. That's a big crack. All right. Let's keep looking around and discovering stuff. This is pretty cool to walk around. It's been a long time since I've done this. There's a lookout up here you can go to. Look at this, a Pokemon card. Pokemon redeemed. Pokemon Live. I'll leave it there. And this would be where the guy would be watching with binoculars all the time. Crazy, huh? And more. Another gun would be here. I imagine this is where they kept the shells. Because those are some pretty hefty steel doors. They got it all cemented off now. Can't see much. Some steps here. Oh, this is another lookout spot. I wonder what that is. I've never been up there. Might be able to walk up and check it out. There's some wooden steps here, which would not be original. So you can get up on top and check out the view. Pretty nice view, huh? Again, I'm just can't believe there's no wind. It's so weird. This place is always windy, except for today. Another private isolated beach down there. I wonder if you can get up there. I'm gonna go see if you can. It's another little opening here. Probably an air passage or something. I'm making my way up to that thing on the hill, if I can get there. So this is all barbed wire fortified. And it looks modern. Let's see if this path here goes around that. This is the real steep cliff there. There's where we were. There's the modern radar working. And here's another, some kind of post. I'll walk carefully on this cliff area. There's a little bird checking me out. See him? He's decided that if I move, if I stay perfectly still, he won't notice me. He's so still it looks like it's not alive. It's like a jungle in here. Another kind of a garbage bin, and then you got this, which is all bob wired up. So another kind of a lookout station. Some old power lines. Look at that. You see this? Something came out of the cliff. Probably crossed over to there at one point. But this is a interesting deal. It must have been an old radar station. There's so much to see in these areas. Another one. Like the alien. This particular part I've never been to. You think when I was a teenager I would have came up here and checked this out, but nope. A lot of taggers come out here, that's for sure. They'll make sure they get their mark on everything. Wow. This I'd say was worth coming to though. I don't know the details of everything. It's electrical cables here. This probably had some kind of scope. A lot of graffiti going on. Beautiful bridge view. And I was talking about the lighthouse, that I made a video of that, and that's the lighthouse right there. A lot of empty beer cans, so I see it is not stopped. And here's an interesting mural. Reuben's Liquors, UFO, Lucy, someone smoking a joint. Some people have a lot of creativity in those spray cans. But look at this view. And this looks like some kind of memorial to someone. This wouldn't be a bad place to scatter someone's ashes, that's for sure. But the lighthouse, you walk down this path and you go through a tunnel to get to it. Pretty cool, huh? So here's a tunnel that goes right under into it. And these here, this has obviously been years and years of deterioration has caught up to it. And these bars been bent out like a monster escaped. Maybe this is where the military kept the monsters. You never know. I'm just gonna go on the side here. Check it out before we move on. Yeah, I don't know what this area would have been. Those pipes usually indicate water. Another corner of it goes way back. Another dark alley. More areas here. And another tunnel. These two mimic each other almost. That one and this one. This here is like a rain collector. So I think that was for water. It's a bell on this one. Huh. Very confused now. Electrical stuff. Tanks. Desk here. Some kind of instrument would have been there. Lighting. Maybe it's an interrogation room. Time delay release. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think this is, because it's definitely a little bit on the creepy side. And this over here. It's a kind of compressor. This is the room right next to it. More acetylene tanks. So this must have been the powerhouse for everything. Look at the size of these cables. There's probably a generator in here. All the telephone junction boxes, communications. Yeah, that's what this probably was. Power for all these places. Pretty interesting stuff. Now they just have that. They don't need any of this stuff. And that's outdated too. Now I'm down below. People still jumping there, but they got modern razor wire there. And a big spinning radar. Still got to watch for those Russian subs coming in. Interesting stuff, huh? There's a ton of history out here in these Marin Headlands. I could walk through all this all day and check it out. To me, it's really interesting. I discover what's making the trails. Snails. I wonder if I should save him some time. He started there and he looped around. I'm gonna pick him up and give him a break. Get him back over to the greenery. You know, when I was a kid, you know what I would have done on that snail? Poured salt on it and watched it melt. As I've grown up, I've learned to respect all creatures, mostly, except black widows and rattlesnakes and stuff like that. But you know, you move all the snails and you'll discover that they were doing something beneficial to where we live, most likely. So I made a full 360 and I'm back to the original barracks. Look at this pine tree. It's twisted and gnarled and it looks like it fell over. It's really bizarre. It looks like it fell over and then I can't understand it. It's like reconnected. Isn't that wild? Pretty wild. This pine tree is very old and figured out a way to survive. Okay. So the once drivable road. Now you got to go way back in time for my memory and my memories. But this whole area was a big party spot because there's only one way in, and the military police would be coming down this road. So if you saw headlights, you could calm it down until no one came up the road to check you guys out. But occasionally you would have an issue. But this would have been like 19. Oh man. I'm trying to think, because I was just driving, so 85, no, 1981, 82. So I had this little car, little economy car. For those of you who know what a Datsun 510 is, it was like that, but it was a Dodge Colt. And you're gonna laugh. This spot right here, I would park, I'd drive my car. Now back in the 80s, there was less erosion. I'd drive my car all the way up like a foot away from this railing, and we'd sit here, and my car would fit in here, and we'd crank music up. And at night you wouldn't see a view, but you knew you were on a cliff. And one time we were here and headlights came, and the military police did come, and these two young guys that couldn't have been more than 19, 20 jump out, and they're shining the lights. And my buddy in the back seat had just opened a bottle of champagne, and we had like me, him, and another guy and two girls, and we were just out here having a good time. And they saw the bottle of champagne. They didn't really say anything. They just checked our ID and left. That wouldn't have happened if this wasn't military police, no doubt. So believe it or not, military police are pretty cool generally. Now this is going back to the 80s, so not sure if they're that cool anymore. But look at the view. There's another barracks down there. Look at this dude. Oh my God. I know you can't see it because this camera doesn't have a zoom. There's a guy on the end there. He's fishing from the cliff. He's literally throwing his line 100 feet down into the water from the cliff. My guess is he catches stuff, because why would he do that? But I've never seen anybody do that. That's pretty nuts. I just saw him cast his line down from the cliff. So if you get a bite, there's a delay in yanking the hook into the fish, right? And there's a delay in feeling it. I don't know, man. It must be, he's going out to the edge of the cliff now. It must be a skilled fisherman that knows what he's doing for cliff fishing. And there's Rodeo Beach, as you can see. It's a cool little beach. And you can see that other battery up on the hill. You got to take this road to get up there, but it's hidden up there. And that's where they had a huge gun. Huge, massive. Over there's Muir Beach. But lots of fortification here in these headlands areas. I'm trying to think of any other stories I could tell you guys from my past. Used to be able to come out here and have bonfires, but I don't think that's happening anymore. And it looks like there's a little tunnel there. So nice view though, huh? These two guys, I saw them pulling out. These two boats are Coast Guard. I wonder what they're looking for. Bales of coke, maybe? Well, everyone, thank you for joining me today at the Marin Headlands and checking out all the batteries and, you know, basically doing some urban exploring. It's been a while since I've been out to this particular location. As you know, I used to drive out here. But I hope you're enjoying my content. I go all over the Bay Area. I film things that I'm interested in. And hopefully you guys will come along, hit that subscribe button, you know, all that good stuff. And if you want to help my channel, you can do a super thanks, or you can buy me a cup of coffee. There's a link in the description. And I will see you on my next video. All right, peace. The one disappointing thing is the amount of trash that I see all over this area, particularly in the batteries. It's like people just throw all their crap in. It's like, come on, people. If you're gonna go there, carry your crap out and throw it in the garbage can so other people don't have to stare at all your garbage for years and years to come. As I'm walking back, there's two fighter jets just cruising. So we got the old and the new. This is sad. How do you lose a cat way out here? They got a leash and maybe they jumped out of their car and they're traveling with it. Wow. Because this is in the middle of nowhere. How do you lose a cat all the way out here? I don't know.